Hello everyone, I'm back with a comparison video. This is a comparison of the Kindle Paperwhite Generation 12 and the Kindle Colorsoft Signature Edition. Now the Paperwhite is 16 gigabytes. I got that model in jade and I unboxed that earlier in another video. The Colorsoft is Signature Edition, 32 gigabytes, and I got that in metallic black. I want to do the comparison, even though the sales are over right now. There'll be another one soon enough. If you're deciding between the two, this might be a good, maybe helpful video for you. Anyway, so they're pretty much the same, right? In terms of the size, right? They literally will use the same case. So I did an unboxing of the case and a little mini review of the case in one of my prior videos. It's the leather case from Amazon, the official one that I got really cheap, used, excellent condition, for $13 or whatever it was. But they are the same size, so that's not going to be an issue. 7-inch the screen, 300 ppi, so the black and white content will be the same. Obviously, the Colorsoft has a color. So you can see I'm reading a biography here of Deng Xiaoping, and you can see like the color on the cover here. So the cover is what I'm reading is what I have as the ongoing display. The other one obviously is just in black and white. Now, what I'll say is that right off the bat, bang for your buck, right? And these were about maybe $30 apart when I purchased them on sale at the time. The Paperwhite is the better option, okay? If you're not going to do e-reading in color, okay? Having said that, the color on the Colorsoft is actually really disappointing, frankly. I was not happy when I saw it, and I wanted to give it a shot. I saw it in the store and I thought, not too sure about that, but since it was on sale, I wanted to kind of give it a chance. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the homepage. Well, actually, what I'll do first is, go ahead and go to the homepage, and I will pull up a Black Panther cartoon, and you can see the color there. Now, it actually looks better through my phone than it actually does in person. I'm not sure why, but it does as I'm doing this recording, right? It's really grainy. The color is 150 ppi. Now, if you compare this to what you would experience on an iPad, for example, there's just absolutely no comparison, right? This is Black Panther episode 1 or edition 1, right? There's just no comparison whatsoever. So there's that. Now, if you're sensitive to obviously the screen, the iPad screen, or LCD screen in that way, then I totally understand. But if you're looking for a color and you read a lot of comics, manga, what have you, and you want to do that in color, I would wait. This has potential. But I would wait to get something like this, unless you really just want it, or you really just want to see your, your library in color. I'll go ahead and pull up my library here, just so you can see all of the different, me and my son share a Kindle, so you'll see Steve the Noob, the different kind of, covers in color, right? I have a bunch of New York Times things here I'm gonna get rid of, but they're what they are. Some of these are older editions. I don't know where my books are. Of course, I'm doing it on the video, so it's hard to find right now. But, you can see different, different color options there. So, like I said, I personally don't think it's worth the extra money. Now, if it's just a few bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, then go ahead and knock yourself out. Go ahead and get the color, Kindle Colorsoft. Okay. Now, having said that, I want to go ahead and just jump to the black and white portion. Now, I have these on the exact same settings, just so you can see them. So let me go ahead and pull them both up. Here's the Paperwhite here. Okay, so just so you know, they're on the exact same settings. Now, there are 18 or 16 brightness, 10 warmth. You notice the difference in the settings itself, like you have an actual dark mode that you can press right there on the Paperwhite, and then here you have the you can kind of go between dark and white. I don't know where the button went there. the color style, right? So you can go vivid, you can go black and white. And I have it on vivid as well, just so that the colors were popping a little bit more. But it wasn't quite, up to par as far as I'm concerned, okay? So they're on the same settings. Now, what I will say, when you look at both of them, and it could just be a variation of the screen, the Paperwhite looks, in black and white, looks slightly clearer. The words are a little more clear. Now, there's more backlighting, perhaps, on the Colorsoft, right? But there's a slight variation in terms of the black and white reading. So from my perspective, you can have the Colorsoft, if you want the color, that's fine. But you are sacrificing sort of a little bit of the black and white reading as well, right? Now you can see here the difference. This one looks a little more yellow, even though the tint, there's a little bit more warmth on the Paperwhite. The Paperwhite is on the right, and it's a little more white on the Colorsoft, right? So there is a variation in the screen. And again, they're on the exact same settings. You can see there's a little more bold in the blacks, black lettering with the Paperwhite. It pops a little bit more off the screen, but neither of them are bad. They're both really solid. It's just that the Paperwhite looks a little bit better if you're just doing this kind of reading. Now, where does the Colorsoft come in handy if you want to do things in color, if you want to read comics, manga, what have you? Obviously, if, again, your eyes are sensitive to the LCD screen, then by all means, go ahead and, get it. And if it's only, and I would wait till it's like, just a few dollars more. Again, the Paperwhite, I think, was $149, and the Colorsoft was $179. That was the sale price. Obviously, you do the trade-in, you get 20% off and plus the value, and that's what I was going to do with these items. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the Colorsoft, though. I kind of doubt it. I just don't see it much more of a value or much more valuable than the Paperwhite. I just don't really see it. And frankly, I'm going to do another video comparing these two with the Oasis, because I really don't see much of a difference in terms of Oasis as well. Now, as far as the turning of the pages, they're both really smooth. I do sense that perhaps, and I don't know if it's necessarily true, but there's a slight delay on the Colorsoft that doesn't exist on the Paperwhite. So I'm going to go ahead and there. See, it kind of just, and that's just a little smoother. So the Paperwhite is a little smoother. They have the same chips. So I don't know if it's because of the display. The monochrome display doesn't have to work as hard as the color display. It's a Kaleido 3 color display, if I'm saying that correctly, perhaps. So the images the lettering is a little bit less sharp, but it's not bad. I mean, if you go for the Colorsoft, it's not like you're going to have a far worse experience than you would on the Paperwhite. So, there's that. Battery life, the Paperwhite will last a little bit longer. It's, scheduled to last 12 weeks. The Paperwhite, the Colorsoft will last 8 weeks. It's not a huge deal because obviously you don't charge these things up as much as you would like your cell phone, right? They both have obviously the adjustable front lights and what have you. They're both the same chip. The Paperwhite having 16 gigabytes. You get automatically 32 gigabytes with this Colorsoft. I think they are coming out with different models of the Colorsoft. They're both, waterproof, so that's not an issue. IPX8 waterproof. They both, the Paperwhite, the Colorsoft has wireless charging. If you get the signature edition of Paperwhite, you can get wireless charging as well. So there's that. They're very similar in a lot of ways. Obviously, it's just the color. Is the color worth it? I don't think so. $30, $20 maybe, $30, I guess, if you want to. But I'm personally not that impressed with the Colorsoft. I've seen different videos of newer e-ink displays that are coming out, color e-ink displays that are coming out on various tech websites. And I just feel like as a first go for $279 or whatever it was they're charging for it, $259. I forget exactly what the retail is. Again, it was $179 on Prime Day. Wait for the sales on these. Don't ever buy these retail unless you're really desperate, because they always go on sale and you can get a really good deal like during Prime Day, during Black Friday, various times during the year. They just go on sale pretty often. So I wouldn't really jump on either of these for retail price. And especially if you have something to trade in, even if it's an old Kindle Fire tablet or an old Echo Dot thing you're not using, whatever Amazon accepts as trade, then to get the extra 20% off. But overall, they're really great devices. I have no problem with them as e-readers. They're wonderful. But if you're looking for a color experience, I would probably wait until this gets more refined and the technology gets better, or the technology that Amazon uses is better than what they're offering here. Okay. For now, I would still stick with the Paperwhite. And if you have any older 300 ppi Kindle, you really don't have to upgrade. And I'll say that even with the more advanced chip, when I compare this, and I'm going to do the comparison video with the Oasis, I don't even see much of a change in terms of speed or the turning of the pages. And, what are we doing? We're turning pages. It's not like we are playing a video game on these things and we need to have more speed and a stronger chip. So if you have anything with 300 ppi that is an Amazon Kindle device, just stick with that unless you just like the screen size. If you have a 6-inch and you want a 7-inch, that's fine. I can totally get that. I find it a little bit cumbersome to use one-handed versus my Oasis, which I actually really like to use one-handed. I'll go ahead and bring it on into the video. But, it's easy, even though it's kind of a different kind of feel, because of the buttons and everything, it's actually a lot easier to use, in my opinion. But anyhow, all right, well, that's a comparison. Whoops, excuse me, I just dropped something there. That's a comparison between the Kindle Paperwhite 12th Gen and the Kindle Colorsoft. Again, I don't really think it's much, the price difference is worth the extra money. If it's $20-$30, maybe, but that's if you really want to, see your books in color, I guess. I'm not really feeling it as a comic book reader. It's just, I'd rather just do that on my tablet. Okay, well, that's all for now. I hope you're well. Hope your family's well, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.